Thank you, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. I also today have the honor and privilege on this day of disinfectants and deodorants to look at this budget. Mr. President, this is indeed a budget.
Sorry, just a second. Chief Whip, you play role as timekeeper this afternoon. 5. Go ahead, Senator Abaribe.
Thank you, Mr. President. This, like I said, is a budget that we, like the French will say, plus ça change, plus ça même chose. The more things change, the more they remain the same. I have not seen anything good or different or absolutely different from what has always happened here. A budget of 7.3 trillion and a capital expenditure of 2.24 trillion and a borrowing of 2.4 trillion. If we are going to borrow as much as what we are going to spend on the capital expenditure, are we really having a budget, or we are having something that we are playing around with? So, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, something needs to give here. And I want to say, a particular type of adage says that in the country of the blind, that the one-eyed man is king. But one very good musician in Nigeria, called Fela Nicola Pokuti, asked this question: if everybody is blind, how we don't know that their one-eyed man actually has an eye? So it looks to me, sir, today, that we are going in a direction of the blind leading the blind. And I'm going to explain it, sir. And I'm just going to take only one example, the State House budget. In the State House budget, it says here, 123 million to buy catering equipment and materials. I don't know. Did they throw away the one they did last year? They spent 94 million last year to buy catering equipment. They're coming back again to buy another catering equipment. What are they doing in that State House that they're always buying catering equipment? I don't know. Something in the State House budget is even very, very funny. They have welfare for 209 million, honorarium and sitting allowance for 556 million. And we want to ask, if you're going to spend 765 million for honorarium and welfare, is that a university where they're paying people to come and sit there? I thought that is a State House. I don't understand this type of provision that is in there. So we must also ask ourselves, for those in that State House who were claiming that we in this National Assembly were buying vehicles, there's a provision for almost, how many? 5 BMW cars. And they say we don't need vehicles, but they are buying for themselves. What are they doing with it? Of course, 5 Toyota Land Cruisers. That same place. And we're going around and asking. They're also buying computers and equipment. And we want to ask, every year, this our budget will come with computers. Now we have more than 200 million for computers. All computers, what are they doing with the computers? The one they bought last year, did they throw them away? And so that's why I said that the more things change, the more they look the same. And we want to know who is leading who here. And that's why I'm asking, Mr. Leader, I have seen your every good thing that you have written here. And you have to come back to come and tell Nigerians, this thing that you have written here, that this budget is designed to stimulate. How are you going to stimulate by driving away private sector? You want to borrow 30% of this budget. Who will lend this money to you? And if there's no borrowing, that means that no, this budget will not also be implemented. And so we now come down to the fact of implementation. Of course, If you're unable to get any money, how are you going to implement? And then we're going to end up again, coming back next year, saying the same thing. And so, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I've said again, and let me reiterate, I have seen nothing new in this budget. I have seen exactly the same thing that was happening last year. Thank you, Mr. President.